down there, Chubb did it actually in the past. If he goes down there, the game is over. I mean, that is a fact. If he just goes down, the game is over. That's true. Guess what else is? It's an absolute abomination if you are Kevin Stefanski that your team performed the way they did for the next 90 seconds. He should be completely embarrassed. One, that he maybe didn't coach up his player to get down once he got a certain distance. And two, that his team was so utterly unprepared. You got guys blaming each other even though they're saying they're not playing the blame game for what happened next. Just all around pathetic work by Stefanski, I think.
Yeah, all you had to do is keep those guys in front of you. Let them complete passes, run the clock, whatever the case. But to run that free behind everyone on that defense was inexcusable. A lot of calls. Let's get right to them here. Chris, we'll begin with JB in Bloomfield. Hey, JB.
Hey, what's going on?
Go right ahead, sir.
Okay, so I kind of agree with Mueller, definitely. I think the offensive coordinator's hands are tied because Trubisky, he cannot throw the ball down the field. I'm sorry. He's incapable. They need to make a change.
But the design of the thing that bothers me about their design, and you look at some of these passing charts, they never throw the ball in the middle. Only 3 times yesterday. One was a pick. The other could have been picked. But the point is, throw it in the middle once at a time to make other things available. They're making it easy, I think, for defenses by the way they design these plays.
Well, there's the play designs. That's Canada. They really don't, make enough incursions to the middle. Although, again, I could understand him being gun-shy after watching Trubisky stare a hole through, Mac Wilson on that interception. He gets his hands on the ball. Charles Davis points out he doesn't move him at all with his eyes, which is quarterbacking 101. Where's the tempo? Pat Freiermuth, exactly right to say, hey, we went tempo last year. It worked a lot. We went tempo in this game. It worked. Having said that, though, again, I'll go to one of those high-angle cut-ups. They run a wheel route for Pickens that actually looks pretty well designed. Is it down the sideline? Sure. Trubisky never even so much as, looks in his direction, and he's wide open by NFL standards, Bob. That's where I want to blame Canada for a lot of this because he's the common thread here, but Trubisky's not even looking at open receivers.
Yeah. It's multi-layered. There's no question about it. It's got to get sorted out pretty quickly. We have Tim Maley here on Twitter who says, how are the Steelers going to compete with all these top quarterbacks in the league? And in the AFC specifically, you're right, Tom Maley. And then Robert Trusky says, if the offense is able to pass the ball down the middle of the field, might that open up the run game? Anything would help open up anything at this point. They've got to do some things to stretch the field. They got players to do it. They have mismatches. Did you see the mismatch that Chase Claypool had at one point, Chris? He's about 6'4", and the guy who was covering him was 5'9". Why not try to exploit that? Why not try to do what they did at the end of the first half, which is throw the ball up and say, go make a play, Nelson Aguilar, and you take your chances. They should do that.
I guess this is where I say Mike Tomlin comes in, and he's drilled it into their heads so much, Trubisky's head, and Canada's to some extent. If you turn the ball over, that's the worst possible thing imaginable. Then they're going to act that way. They're not going to throw it. They're going to be gun shy. That's where I blame Tomlin because I think he's ready to win rock fights, but it's not 2000 anymore. It's 2022. I have so many problems with this, and you know what's the worst part? You've got the head coach today defiantly either throwing Ahkello Witherspoon under the bus, when granted he got mossed, but he was in pretty good position, throwing other guys under the bus saying they're not making enough plays, and then saying they're going to practice and preach patience. Come on, man. Time's running out. You should be 2-0 with a gift in week 1. You should be 2-0 and trying to take on a reeling team that's 1-1. Instead, they're 1-1, and it feels like they're trending in the wrong direction.
Or they could be 0-2. That was a gift, as you said. Let's go to Tony in the Hill District. Tony, you're up. Go ahead.
Hey, Bob. Hi, Chris. I want to ask you guys a question. If you was the Steelers coach, okay, and you see that Matt Trubisky is not hitting them open receivers by the third quarter, okay, would have switched him out for Kenny Pickett? Because I didn't see Mitch Trubisky. I seen Neil O'Donnell. So would you guys have switched him out?
No, this was very much – Tony, this was very much Mitch Trubisky, and I'm going to remind everybody, I told you all this. This whole Buffalo image rehabilitation thing was crap from the beginning. He is who he's always been. This is the guy he was in Chicago. It wasn't the Bears coaches messing up Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky is this guy. One read, can't see the field, can't process what he's seeing fast enough to make the right decisions. There is no mystery as to why he's playing this way. It's how he was always going to.
All right, let's go out to Dave, who joins us in New Sewickley. Dave, what's going on? You're on the air.
Hey, Bob, how you doing, man?
Good, thanks.
I just wanted to tease you. How's Mitch working out for you? Bob, he stinks. And
well, first of all, I think he has not played
really right,
at the level he needs to, but I also think
there.
the play calling, again, is something that has to be taken into account. However, is responsible for that. It's the head coach, it's the offensive coordinator, it's the quarterback, all three. It's not just one, it's everyone in this mess right now, I think, and they have to figure it out. And, the thing is, it's 2 games in. We'll see. I don't think you can make a change at quarterback this week. You could do it in game like we saw tonight with Malik Willis if things get out of hand. If it's 41-7 in the third quarter, Chris, I would expect to see Kenny Pickett in that game. But the better option, if things don't work out, if you're thinking that way, is to do it when you have 10 days to get ready for the New York Jets, which is more time, plus it's a home game, and I think it would help Kenny Pickett.
Really quick here, I'll say Pickett should play against the Jets if Trubisky's ineffective and they lose. But if Trubisky doesn't turn the ball over, he just has another milquetoast game and they lose, I don't think that Kenny Pickett will get that job. Even if they're 1-2 with a quarterback that can't throw the ball more than 20 yards downfield or can't crack 200 yards passing, as long as he keeps the INT numbers off the board, I don't know if Mike Tomlin's going to go away from him, even if they get their doors blown off by a rival in a primetime, nationally televised game.
We're due for a break. We'll take it. Come back with more right here. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Back in a flash.